This business is like the Wild West. Gold, silver, rare coins, lost treasures of history. You never know what's gonna walk through that door. Oh, whoa!
This is a Civil War sword.
I got robbed at gunpoint.
Watch this.
I'm Evan Kale, and this is Pawn Man. Gang, as always, we have a great episode of Pawn Man in store. Before we get into it, I want to thank our great episode sponsor, such a good sponsor here on this channel, Bong Water Beverage Company. Bong Water is a THC-infused drink designed to hit you fast. It hits you in about 10 minutes. Other edibles will take hours. It's available in my home state of Minnesota, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, parts of Texas, parts of Wisconsin. Visit bongwaterbeveragecompany.com to find out if they are coming to your state soon. If they're not there yet, there is a link in the video description. In my hand here, this is the KO Punch. They have gluten-free options, a variety of milligrams and flavors. Again, that's Bong Water Beverage Company. Must be 21 years of age or older to consume in my state of Minnesota. And with that, let's get into a good episode. So we got somebody waiting outside. They're gonna come with a bunch of Star Wars stuff I kind of don't want to buy right now. We'll see what they have. In the meantime, I got another remote deal coming in from my follower, Derek. Let's just slip this open, see what we got. A bunch of current, there's a lot of currency. More boomer and coin album. You guys, I don't buy these, so you know, like, don't. Derek's okay. I told him he could send me the stuff, but like, I don't buy Sacagaweas. I don't buy presidentials. I don't buy Susan B. Anthony's. Because, like, I could pay him face value and he'd be mad, and I probably won't make any money at face value. Like, people are just gonna buy this out for face value. Okay, to be continued. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, Star Wars bullion, eh?
Most of it is Star Wars.
You want 6,500 for everything here?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's quite a collection indeed.
Yeah, it's a lot of nice stuff.
So the problem I'm having right now is I have so much of this stuff and it does not sell fast and it just sucks up money and causes me problems. Why didn't you pick out everything that is not ungodly expensive?
What do you consider ungodly?
Anything over like $300?
This stuff, $250 and under.
Okay, yeah, let's do this for now. Okay, $550 on this pile.
No, I couldn't do that.
Too low?
Way too low.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's where I need to be to make money.
Yeah, I couldn't even come close to that.
I do 70, 180, 145. So that's 925 cash. All right. Why don't you come on in and bring your works up? Let me show you guys what I'm buying. So I was at a local coffee company. I was at a local coffee shop, and you guys know I'm buying artwork. I collect artwork. I'm investing in artwork, and I'm like, you go to coffee shops and like they have like artwork, and I'm looking, and they'll look, okay, like that one, that. Oh, that one's really good. That was really good. And I look at the next one. I'm like, God, that one's even better. These paintings, the style is so vivid. It's so drawing. It's like, I was telling them, it just makes me just want to do acid and stare at it. So this is a local artist. I'm buying 2 of his works. This is one of them. I'm going to keep one of them for my store. I'm going to put one in my apartment. So this is one. Damn, this is the other one. I'll probably put this one in my apartment. We are running out of room here, and I'm probably going to buy some more from you too. Just one thing at a time because I'm not made of money. These paintings speak to me. They speak to me because the depth is really good. It's engaging. It's like, I have attempted to do this kind of style. And somebody said that it looked like bubblegum. That hurts my feelings. What's your Instagram again?
It's Einstein's cousin.
Einstein's cousin. Check it out. Like, here's the ad, but you can order art from him as well. It's cool stuff. It's a local Minnesota artist. And how were you able to get your stuff into the coffee shop that I was at? I don't want to say the name of it because I don't want people to know where I live.
My friends, I have really good friends that are professional musicians and dancers.
Okay.
And to be honest, I'm not really sure that the paintings would have ever been in the coffee shop had not one of them, you know.
Well, they caught my eye immediately. They deserve to be in there. Because a lot of people look at this and they think, well, I could do that. And it's like, no, you couldn't. I couldn't do that. And I'm full of myself. So if I say that easily, that means I really can't do it. Yeah, I think this work is tremendous. How long did this take?
Probably a month. You know, this one here I kind of fell in love with, you know. And
that's the thing with art and like doing your own art. Again, egomaniac, but I have a hard time selling my stuff. Well, we agreed on $1,000. Let me get it for you. And I can't wait to do acid and stare at these. I think I've already talked about this, but let's do it one more time. And if I have, I guess, well, here's some additional information / the case has developed since. So I bought this. This is a Abercrombie rifle case. And if you're like, wait, Abercrombie, the store with the shirtless guys and the techno music? Yeah. didn't used to be that way. Abercrombie was started in 1892 by David T. Abercrombie out of Manhattan, New York. It was a high-end sporting good, fishing, clothing, camping, hunting store. This was not what it is today. In 1904, that changed when Ezra Fitch, a Manhattan real estate developer and lawyer, bought a significant share of the company. He was a good customer. He liked what was going on. So he bought a big share, and through the 1900s, 1910s, 1920s, they boasted some very famous clientele. Again, high-end sporting goods. Theodore Roosevelt was a customer. Amelia Earhart was a customer. I'm gonna set this down. But then in the Great Depression, things changed. The company was rocked, and through the 1930s, 40s, 50s, consumer styles changed. The economy, everything changed, and the company struggled. They never really got back on their feet. And in 1977, they declared bankruptcy. They were traded hands a few times in the 1980s. The Limited Inc., now L Brands, bought them, and in 1992, they appointed Mike Jeffries. This Peter Jackson orc reject looking thing. You feel like, wow, that's severe. Oh, just wait. Now, Jeffries had some controversial ideas. He wanted to restructure the company and cater only to young people, trendy clothes, the whole night. It's like a nightclub atmosphere, the models with the shirts, all his idea. And it was a very good and risky strategy, but it paid off because nobody else was doing it. The company expanded, got very popular, became one of the most recognizable brands of teen clothing and the whole teen economy. Clothing, you wanted to look like an Abercrombie kid. You know, the Abercrombie models were beautiful. You know, he selected only like the best looking people in the best shape. A lot of people obviously are very uncomfortable with that strategy, but it paid off very well. The company expanded into Hollister. They had Abercrombie kids. They were making a boatload of money. Mike Jeffries was being paid very, very well. However, there is some really dark stuff going on the side. Now, again, they're not selling stuff like this anymore. This stuff is very collectible. When I first got this, I was like, wait, Abercrombie was making rifle cases? When? I didn't know any of this. I paid $110 for this. It's worth about $250. I'm gonna probably throw this on eBay. I bet I'll get an offer for like $180. eBay will take their fees. I'll make about $30 on this thing. It's interesting to me to see how a company starts, how it evolves, what it turns into. And one of my favorite things that I do here on Pawn Man is I'm able to look at something, give you the historical information, but then go deeper and give you something else that I think is important. So Mike Jeffries allegedly, I can't stress the word allegedly enough, allegedly was running one of the most sophisticated sex trafficking operations in modern history. He was using, again, the word's allegedly here, because that's what's being investigated right now, was using the stores to comb for boys to take advantage of and rape. So I learned about all this. The BBC has a series they're doing called World of Secrets. It's like a season podcast. Every season is a different up thing. But when I was listening to the first season when it came out last October, I almost drove off the road. I was so disgusted and shocked, and I was like, how the hell was this guy getting away with this for this long, and how is this not being investigated? That's changing now. So what allegedly he would do is he would use these stores to find the best models. He'd have recruiters going store to store looking for the right guys. These recruiters would tell them, you need to come to an audition. The audition was usually oral sex on this disgusting man that was missing his nose. I'm not making this up. It sounds like a movie script. And if you pass that test, then they'd fly you to either a mansion or a hotel somewhere overseas. All expense paid, but you are being trafficked like meat. It's all about sex. They tell you it will end with a modeling career, and it was just a lie, allegedly. And this expands to, there are so many victims. It is insane that it was going on for this long. It was this well orchestrated. It was this well covered up. The head company now says they knew nothing about this. I can't speak for them. I don't know. The amount of money that was being spent, I mean, I'm sure a lot of it was coming out of his pocket, but like, how do you not know when there's something this sophisticated going on? So what gets me is I had severe body dysmorphia as a kid, like really bad. I thought I was fat, and I wasn't. And I went into an Abercrombie store when I was like 14 or 15. I was 140 or 45 pounds. I was like my height now, like 6 foot. I was thin, and I couldn't fit into a medium, and I thought I was fat. It like ruined me. And I witnessed a lot of my peers having issues because of this store, and it really hurt a lot of kids. And that bleeds into your life. That really messes you up. And like, good. I think this company, just based on how many kids I saw them hurting, not just with these allegations, the people who are being sex trafficked allegedly, but the mental damage it was doing to kids, having these like insane standards of what a medium should be or small should be, how like thin you had to be to, it's like, stop eating. God, good. Let the company go under if they're gonna be like that. That's so harmful for society. What I want to drive home is, take a look at this creature. Just take a look at this Peter Jackson orc looking reject. That was the standard of beauty. That was an impossible standard of beauty he was creating, and yet, like, it's kind of ironic for me to call him ugly when I'm talking about everyone's beautiful, but, like, seriously, if you think that you're ugly, you don't like what you see in the mirror, there's something beautiful in there. Who the cares what people have to say about how you look, especially when the standard of beauty was coming from that? Like, just with what I've learned with these allegations, I got a chill up my spine when I bought this. In fact, I didn't want to buy this. The only reason I did buy this, one, the price, I guess, was okay, but two, I immediately saw an opportunity to convey that message, and it's important, and just don't let anything get in your head about your beauty. Remember this lesson that I'm trying to teach you guys, and just look and see. There's so much truth to be had from the story. There's so much irony to be had here. And when I get items like this, I love that I can start with something historical, tell you about the collectability, the founding of a company, tell you about its fall from grace, and then leave you with something that's important like this. Don't forget that message. Once again, you guys, I want to thank our episode sponsor, Blong Water Beverage Company. Visit blongwaterbeveragecompany.com and find out if they are coming to your state. If they're not there yet, they are currently available in Minnesota, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, parts of Texas, parts of Wisconsin. Sugar-free options, gluten-free options. It is a THC-infused drink that hits you fast. It tastes great. Check it out. Again, link in the video description. And this week, you guys, we are talking about something very interesting, something that I actually didn't really know was the thing until I started to get into this field. We are talking all about papal and Vatican coins. Papal, weird way of saying goyim. The Vatican fascinates me, and it fascinates me because it is unlike anything in the world. Totally different reason, but it's like kind of akin to North Korea, in that, you know, North Korea is just this weird thing that's like there's nothing else like it. It's a state-sponsored, it's a state-sanctioned mafia. There's like literally nothing else on the planet that's like that. This is a theocratic city-state that acts as its own country, and it's very, very, very small, and it's very, very powerful, obviously, and they produce a lot of very collectible, frankly, very cool coinage. So let's talk about the Vatican, the history of the Vatican, and these coins that they produce. Now, I just want to quickly say, part of why we are covering this is I am interviewing Italian Coins, and he is an expert in this field, and I'd really like you guys to check out that interview with him as well. As I record this, haven't filmed it yet. Should be out. If it's not out right now, it'll be out very soon as you guys are watching this. So, Vatican City. I would love to go there. I've never been to Europe, but I just am endlessly fascinated by the power of the Catholic Church, their history, their impact on history globally. Doesn't matter if you're Christian or not, the Catholic Church has shaped the world that we live in. And Vatican City's founding and history is entwined with the Catholic Church. This has been a significant site since ancient times. It's named after Vatican Hill. In Latin, I think it's Mons Vaticanus, and it lays to the west of the Tiber River. During the Roman Empire, this was a marshy area. It was outside of Rome's boundaries. And according to tradition, St. Peter, who was one of Jesus' apostles and is considered to be the first pope, was martyred and buried in this area around 64 AD. And over his tomb, Constantine the Great, who we have talked about on here before, the first Christian emperor of Rome, if you forgot, built the original St. Peter's Basilica in the 4th century. Now, around the 8th century, the popes began to gain a lot of power. They gained power over some of the Italian peninsula. This area became known as the Papal States. And this made the Pope not only a spiritual leader, but a literal ruler of a territory as well. And throughout medieval times, this area around St. Peter's Church, it just became this hub of Christianity, the center of their power, of their governance, of their structure, of their organization, their religion. Everything was coming out of this area. This was the hub of Christianity, or at least of the Roman Catholic Church. The current St. Peter's Basilica was completed around the 17th century, and this has become a point of pilgrimage for the disciples, the people that are subscribing to this form of religion. However, through the process of Italian unification, culminating in 1870, Rome was annexed by the Kingdom of Italy. The Pope's temporal authority was effectively eliminated, and they declared themselves prisoners within the Vatican. This impasse was resolved in 1929 with something called the Lerian Treaty. This was between the Holy See and the Kingdom of Italy. This treaty recognized the sovereignty of the Holy See, S-E-E, not S-E-A, and it ultimately created the independent city-state of Vatican City, what we know as the Vatican today. This is an independent enclave outside of Rome, which ensured the Pope's sovereignty, its territorial sovereignty, and its neutrality from world affairs. And since this establishment, the Vatican is effectively governed by a monarch, the Pope. He's the king of Vatican City, if you will, although he doesn't go by a king, obviously. And this Vatican City state has its own governance, its own rules, its own laws, its own money, its own sovereign territorial borders. Now, the Vatican is quite small. They don't do acres in Europe, they do hectares. It's 44 hectares, it's 110 acres. It's that small. To be honest with you guys, I knew it was small. I didn't know it was that small. This makes it the smallest state in the world. Now, we have covered other micronations, like we covered the Republic of Minerva. I was gonna call it the Principality of Minerva. Not a real nation, but there are micronations that are real that are like, it's like really, like, we'll be talking about a place called Sea World, or Sea Land, I'm sorry, coming up soon here. But as far as, you know, places that have actual power, this is the smallest country on the planet, or the smallest state on the planet, I should say. Now, it only has 800 residents. You basically have to be involved, like, with the governance or with the Catholic Church to be there. The Pope is the head of state. The Pope rules until they either step down or die. They almost never step down. And then a new one is chosen amongst the body of the Catholic Church. They get their money through tourism, through donations from their followers around the world, state publications, stamps, artifacts, and as we'll be talking about in a minute here, their coinage. It's home to some of the most famous architecture and artwork in the world, including St. Peter's Basilica, the Sistine Chapel, Vatican museums, and a whole lot more. They are protected by what is known as the Swiss Guard. These Swiss Guard are recognized for their Renaissance era uniforms, and they are one of the smallest and oldest and most sophisticated military units in the world. The Holy See maintains diplomatic relations with, as of this recording, 180 different nations around the world, and they participate in various international organizations both as an observer and as a member. They play a very unique role in global diplomacy. In fact, with what's going on right now in the Middle East, the Pope has been and the Vatican has been very active in trying to foster some kind of a lasting peace. Latin is the official language of the Vatican. It's used as the language in official documents. However, Italian is largely used for day-to-day communications. The Vatican also has its own complex economic system. They have their own money system. They do subscribe and use the euro because everything in the Eurozone is using the euro. However, they issue their own coinage. They also issue a lot of commemorative coins too, and currency. So shifting gears, as we talked about with the economy, they generate money through commemorative coins, collectible coins, among other things, and they are very collectible, very expensive sometimes, very sought after, and also very rare. I see Vatican coins hardly ever, and I've come across some very rare ones in my career, and personally, I love their coins. I think they make incredible coins. I personally collect some, but before the establishment of the Vatican in 1929, papal coins were issued as were currency items, and these served as currency and coinage within the territories controlled by the papal states, or controlled by the Pope. And as I said, it started all the way back in the 8th century, and coins and currency were a thing back then, so they go back quite a ways. Initially, in the 8th century, they were following ideas from the Byzantine Empire, the manufacturing process of how they made their coins. Some design features were very similar, but gradually they started to develop their own distinct styles to make themselves unique. During the Renaissance, their coinage really flourished, and the designs became way more complex. They used their triumphs, all their power that they were gaining, all the things that they were doing. They were commemorating these actions on their coinage, not only to remind the world of how powerful they were becoming, what they were doing, but to celebrate their accomplishments as well. This really, it's an artistic sense of the church's power depicted on coinage. And it's one of the reasons why I love coins and why I always say coins are history. You see it at play right here. These coins commonly featured the Pope, but they also featured images of Jesus, religious images, and again, like I said, triumphs throughout their history. However, the 19th century saw significant changes at the papal states. Like I said, in 1870, they were effectively dissolved. Despite these challenges, the papacy was still issuing their own coins, almost as an act of defiance. They also became increasingly symbolic as they continued to produce these coins. These coins have also been minted in a variety of different metals, from gold and silver. Those are generally the most expensive ones, and the favorite ones that I personally see are generally struck from at least 800 silver. There's some weird striking in some of them, but like I've seen 830, I've seen 925, I've seen 900. They also minted coins in bronze, and they came in a lot of different designations. Common denominations of papal state coins include the Scudo, the Biocco, and the Giulio. Can't help it. Gabagool. Now, as for the manufacturing process itself, it has evolved quite a bit since the 8th century. Initially, coins were hammered by hand, and this is a very labor-intensive and unregulated process that produces a lot of varieties. You don't get things looking the exact same when you do them one by one like that. By the Renaissance, the papal states had adapted what was known as the screw process, and this allowed a more uniform coin design, so you didn't have quite the variety you had before. This also saw the introduction of higher denominations and more usage of precious metals in the coin. coinage process. The design of these coins also became more regulated and more closely controlled by the papal governing bodies or the overseers of this territory. Accomplished artists were often commissioned to start making special commemorative coins or have their hand in the artistic design of these coins. Now today, like I said, 1929 is where the Vatican States coins began to become a thing, and they issue a variety of different coins. Commemorative coins is a big moneymaker for them. That's probably going to be the most common of these coins that you're going to come across, unless you travel to Vatican City. And these commemoratives, these are things relating to the Catholic Church, celebrating the religion, figures within the religion, popes, triumphs of the Catholic Church, other aspects of their history commemorating. That's why we call it a commemorative. They may be issued in euro denominations because the euro took over in 2002, and like I said, being in the eurozone, they are subject, the Vatican, to producing euros. They also sometimes come with their own special designations commemorating the history of the coinage, what the designations used to be. They also issue collectible coins, very limited run, that are made from precious metals, silver, gold. I don't know if they do platinum or not. I would think that they probably do, but they're very uncommon if they do. There's also something known as the sede vacante issue, if I am saying that right. And I'm sorry if you're Catholic and I'm butchering this, I apologize. It's hard for my Jewish lips to pronounce these properly. These are special coins that are issued during the death and the ultimate succession from one pope to another. These are some of the Vatican's most collectible and sought after coins by people that are into this. There's also a series dedicated to saints and popes, and there is an arts and architecture series too. As far as the euros, the Vatican has been issuing these since 2002. They come in 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, and 50 cents, as well as 1 and 2 euros. The obverse always features a design specific to the Vatican. Usually it is the reigning pope, and when the pope changes, obviously so too does the coinage. They also are minting way less coins than other mints around Europe, just A, because of their size, B, because of their functionality. Like, for 800 people, you don't need a whole lot of coins. You produce more than you need for the collectability. However, just as far as the practicality of what they need to be producing, they don't need that many. Now, I get excited when I come across these coins, not just because I personally like them. I think they're very interesting. They're very well designed. I've never seen one that I don't like. They're sought after, like I said, by collectors, and oftentimes people don't know what they are. They can get expensive. Some of these coins, generally 50 to 100 bucks for some of these commemoratives. They get even more expensive. Let's close out by talking about some of the most expensive examples you can find of these coins. It should come as no surprise, the most expensive examples you can find are going to be coming from like the Middle Ages. A 1652 gold 2.5 scudi of Pope Innocent X. There's an expensive one. There's a 1866 gold 100 lira of Pope Pius IX. This was a long and eventful pope's reign, so it is recognized by the church as being one of the most significant in their history. It also had a very high denomination, very sought after by collectors. Coins from Julius II Testone. He was known as the warrior pope, and coins from his papacy are prized and rare, and again, very expensive. There's also a 1929 Lerian Treaty gold medal. It was not meant to be circulated. It commemorates the Lerian Treaty, which established Vatican, as we talked about, as the city-state. If you're going to be collecting these coins or items, numismatic items related to the Vatican or to the papacy, this is one you're going to want. It's good luck finding it. The year 1933 was considered a holy year, and the Vatican City 100 gold lira from 1933 is a must-have for any collector. It also has a very limited mintage, so again, good luck finding it. But if you do, you probably have a great numismatic item that will only go up in value just given the history of what you have. Finally, the 1950 Vatican City gold 100 lira. This is commemorating the holy year of 1950, and again, these coins, it's a low mintage, they're very sought after. So my advice to you guys in conclusion, if you're interested in this arena, there definitely are some great finds to be had. Very few people have come to discover, even people that profess that they are numismatists and they know a lot about coins, very few people seem to be familiar with these coins, seem to have a good knowledge of them. Like I said, with my interview with Italian Coins, I'm interviewing him largely because he knows so much about this field and I know so little, and I'm just so fascinated by it. If you're out and about and you see a coin in the wild that has a pope on it and it's got some Italian or Latin writing, probably Latin, it's probably a pope coin. You know, if it's a couple bucks, it's a no-brainer buy for sure.
And that's the magic of papal coins and coins from Vatican City. Vatican City, a place of pure magic and joy.
Unless you're an 8-year-old boy. In which case, you shouldn't go there. Well, just like that, guys, it is the end of the day and the end of the episode. I want to thank our sponsor, Blong Water Beverage Company, available in Minnesota, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, parts of Texas, parts of Wisconsin. Visit Blong Water Beverage Company's website. There is a link in the video description. Find out if they are coming to your state soon, if they're not there yet. And if you guys like this video, be sure to subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. Check out my books. Visit pawnmanstore.com to buy bullion or all my other great products. Check me out on Whatnot. There is a free $15 promo code if you download the app with my code. Again, link in the video description. That Linktree link will take you to all things Pawn Man. I will see you guys back here for another great video. Be sure to follow me across social media at Pawn Man. Later, guys.